William Galbraith Rollo Stuart Bruce, greatest author of my generation, GAOMG. Just want to go over like what I discovered with my whole Bruce Treese line and getting it validated by Scotland. That's my biggest like uphill battle right now. And my biggest like naysayers right now are like Google AI search engines. When you type in like greatest author of my generation, it comes up with like, well, what makes the greatest author of my generation? When you go by definition, it breaks down like character development. I've been doing this over 20 years, written about, Gannett. This is in 2006 with my first book that I wrote, and always talking about writing about my ancestors, that I'm utilizing 21st century technology to find out who I am, and then write about them in my trilogies that I've connected over 20 years in my self-discovery. And no other author in the world has ever done this. That's written about in 2006, handing out flyers in Times Square, saying I'm going to become the greatest author of my generation in 2006, and writing about my ancestors and then becoming it, which I am today. Jason William Galbraith Rollo Stuart Bruce, greatest author of my generation, GAOMG, last unicorn of Scotland. And I can prove, everything that I've been writing about, and all in my DNA and ancestry. And that's really my biggest challenge right now, is like AI on the search engine. When you type in greatest author of my generation, should absolutely go to me. And it's utilizing everything of my generation, 21st century, that couldn't be done in the 20th century. So that's really like my biggest like uphill battle right now, is getting AI and all the search engines to recognize, that I am the greatest author of my generation, and I am a direct descendant, Y-DNA, unbroken, from Rollo to Robert the Bruce to his son, and then also through his grandson, all the way to me today. So that is amazing. It should be celebrated, in Scotland, but I get so much pushback, both proving I'm the greatest author of my generation, which I've already done. It's already 2006. There's nobody else on YouTube writing their books, their story about how they're going to connect them all in trilogies. I already did that, dude. I already talk about that, all about writing about my ancestors and proving that I am a direct descendant of Robert the Bruce, King of Scots. Like you can't like ignore it or anything. I mean, that's me, and that's the DNA, FGC 78762. That means me and Robert the Bruce shared the exact same dad, parent. And then this right here, this Y14197, that right here, I'm a descendant of William Stuart of Fennock. And it says it, and there's like nothing to deny, or like you can't deny me this, Scotland. Like everybody can see this. 14197, Tim Stewart. You just put my name right next to Tim Stewart. The only reason my line, my whole Treese Bruce, is a brand new discovery, and it'll upset, the status quo, the norm, the establishment, by validating my proven descent. And like, who the Treese? I never heard of Treese Bruce. Have you? Treese came from Normandy. They say like Devon. But all this DNA, everything that I've discovered, people didn't really, they know that Robert the Bruce comes from Normandy, but they really didn't know exactly like from Rollo. Like I'm proving from Rollo to de Bruce to me. And that's all new. And so like the Treese family, like you can look it up, where they're Knights Templar, recorded in Kent in 1185. You have the Treeses, and a lot of my ancestors were Knights Templar, warriors, all of my, like the Plantagenets, all my Normandy, William Marshall, big crusader, the Mannings with Richard, the Lionheart, my de Bruces were all de Bohun, Treeses. I mean, I have so much Normandy, the Bohuns, the Greys, Keene, Normandy ancestors that fought and were Knights Templar and everything like that. So again, with like going by like all of this stuff, a greatest author of my generation, do I have a unique voice? Do I have character development? In over 20 years, I've connected all of my different characters from Captain Kidd, the most famous pirate from Scotland, to my Robert the Bruce, to my Galbraith, to all of my ancestors that I write about. So the unique voice, character development, impactful storytelling. I have people that have emailed me throughout the years that I impact their lives through my books that I've written, through my actions. All of this is storytelling right here online right now. Here, this is not from me. This is from somebody else. Hey, Jason, I got a huge kick out of you at the Sheen Classic. I was like running with my book, written up, naked author. I had to go online to see what it's all about. God bless you for the little bit that I read. I love people that make good out of their lives, especially coming out of no good situations that I definitely come from. My two boys have been abandoned by their father. They're 13, 15 now. Anyway, I look forward to reading your book, and we'll be cheering you on that you meet your goals. You sound like a cool person that has it all together. Your son is very lucky to have you. Wow. That's my son here in 2006 with my first book that I'm writing about my ancestors, that I tell everybody I'm going to become the greatest author of my generation. And today, now I have done it. I've done it through all of 21st century technology, combining it with my books that I write about, combining it all my storytelling online, impacting people through my books that I write, through my videos, my social media blogs, everything like that I write about. It's all storytelling, and it's all where we're at today, and trying to get my line validated by Scotland. Like I had this one, I emailed it all to this ASGRA. It's this whole like genealogy thing in Scotland. And this one dude, Chris, he got back to me. He was like, hey, I know that guy, Alistair MacDonald. He's done a lot of stuff at the University of Strathclyde. He's like, send your stuff there. And then I was like, yeah, dude, I did send my stuff to him, and he just like blew me off. So this is going to, if they validate my line, my Treese Bruce line and my Stuart Bruce line, it's just going to upset the establishment, and it's all out of my hands. You can see I emailed like all of these people. Hey, you already contacted with him, with Alistair. There's not much more I can do. He's far more knowledgeable in the DNA than I am. So it's all out of my hands. I've done everything that I can to give all of my proven DNA to Alistair at the University of Strathclyde. I've sent it out to like the Herald, the Post, and it's all out of my hands now. I've proven it, and I've proven it with my books that I'm writing and have written, and connecting them all, which I continue to do in my books. And there's nothing left for me to prove. Like you can go on the University of Strathclyde, you can see my little, Stuart DNA. You can see just like this Tim Stewart. That's exactly where I would fit in, right there, at Y14197. Like I have the DNA, I've proven it, I have everything. It's just up to Scotland now. It's out of my hands, and I've done everything that I could. If I'm a bad person because I was born in America, it's out of my hands. Like my biological parents that, hated me for having the other one's DNA in me. If that's like the situation in Scotland, and I'm never going to be good enough, even with my proven Stuart direct unbroken line from Robert II, the first Stuart King, and my Treese Bruce line direct from Robert the Bruce to me today, it's out of my hands. So I've given everybody the proof. I've emailed it out there. I've proven it. I've written it all. I am Jason William Galbraith Rollo Stuart Bruce, the greatest author of my generation, the Norman-Scot, GAOMG, last unicorn of Scotland, the only proven living descendant of Robert the Bruce today in 2025. And I've proven it I've published all of my snips. Everybody with a computer can cut and paste, you know, my Treese Bruce dynasty, my Stuart Bruce dynasty. It's all there. And, you know, I'm connecting it all with my book that my trilogies I'm working on right now. So cheers.